The Korean Zombie makes his return in Singapore this weekend when he faces off against Max Holloway in a fight that I personally believe should have happened 3 or 4 years ago. Dwain and I are going to be questioning if we think the fans are still going to be interested in this fight. But before we do that, make sure to subscribe as we've got brand new videos coming out every week. So Dwain, first question. Are you bothered about this fight? Are you interested still?
No, not really. I think the big problem
There's
is,
the short answer.
yeah, there's the short answer. The big problem is Max is like a minus 900 favorite. It's ridiculous odds. And like you were saying, if this had have happened 3-4 years ago, it'd have been interesting. But I think, poor Zombie is a bit too, a bit too long in the tooth now for a fight like this to be fighting a top guy. Like, don't forget Max is a top guy. He's high, elite level guy. And I think it's just too dangerous for Zombie. I'm surprised this fight's happening at all.
Yeah, his last fight was against Alexander Volkanovski, and that was so one-sided. Even Volk ended up feeling sorry for him. And you think, with that much time out, do you think someone like the Zombie will have ring rust on top of having to face a number one contender permanently, Max Holloway? Do you think that will play a factor?
Not really. I don't think Zombie really has ring rust because if you look at his career, he only fights every year anyway, once a year, maybe twice at the most. He always takes big breaks out, so I don't think it's going to affect him too much. He's probably been training a lot. So no, I don't think it's going to come into play too much. But I am kind of interested to see how this fight plays out. We're all writing Zombie off, but he's still pretty good. So what? He lost to Max. He lost to Volk. Volk's one of the best in the world. Probably is the best in the world right now. So there's no shame in that. And he might just step it up and he might surprise us all. Probably not, but he might.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very unlikely, but, we will be tuning in regardless. But to me, it just feels like Max is out here doing featherweight side quests, to be honest. It just seems like, where else do you go, though, if you are Max Holloway? You've been beat by the champion 3 times. You've beat everyone else in the division. Even new contenders like Arnold Allen coming forward. You got a decision win over him a few months ago. After this with the Zombie, would you like to see Max move up? I'm presuming that Max gets through the Zombie with ease, by the way, when I say that.
No, I don't want to see Max Holloway move up to 155. I think it's a division that he'll struggle in. I think there's some big, strong guys, and maybe they'll finally break that chin of his. I think 145 is the right division for him. And I think these kind of fights are the right kind of fights for him now. Rather than just battering all the contenders, do these little side quests. Go fight Korean Zombie. Go fight Emmett. Stuff like that. Just sort of circle around, keep your foot in the door, and just wait Volkanovski out. Because Volkanovski must only have 1-2 years left maximum. So if Max gets a couple more fights in between that time, beat some big names, just some exhibition bouts basically, and then when Volk retires, then he steps back up and he can be the champion again, or then fight whoever the champion is at that point. Maybe Tapora, maybe Arnold Allen, something like that.
I think Max, the athlete in him, the competitive athlete, I think that could seem like settling for second best. You've got to wait until Volk leaves, until you can be the king of that division again. I mean, the fights that Max had with Dustin Poirier, especially one in, I think it was 2019 or something, it was ridiculous. It was highly competitive. Max ended up, losing via decision. But you're right, there is some heavy strikers in there and some big old boys. I mean, imagine Max against, say, Michael Chandler, and Michael Chandler catches him clean, or Justin Gaethje, the new BMF champion. You'd worry for Max's chin. Seems to be the only one. That and Marvin Vettori seem to be the hardest surfaces on this earth. But when you said Tuporia, that would be a fight that I'd be so keen to see. Max versus Ilia Tuporia. We'll have to see what happens with Volkanovski. Obviously, this is all speculation, but that is all Max Holloway. Dwain, what do you think next? If the Zombie gets the big upset, because there are rumors that this is going to be his last fight, what would you like to see next if the Zombie wins or loses?
I want him to retire. I want him to just go off in the sunset, win, lose, or draw. I think it's kind of the point now. And the good thing about being Korean, what a weird way to start the sentence, is that they really, really look after their celebrities over there. So like, Zombie's a big star. He's been singing some songs, got a little pop career, does some presenting stuff. They really, really love their idols and their celebrities. So he's got a great career no matter what. And that's what I think is fantastic about it. Whereas say in the UK, if you're a retired fighter, nobody cares, nobody's interested. So at least he's got a career ahead of him. But I'd love it if he could pull off an upset win here. Get a little win, get a decision win, retire off into the sunset. Because I think people forget Zombie is a good fighter. He's really, really good. He was beating Yair, but he just got caught at the last second. He lost to Volk. Well, so what? It is what it is. So I'd love to see him go off, retire into the sunset. But if he did change his mind, if he got a win over Max and he decided to stay, I don't know what I'd want for him. I think I'd want almost the same thing as Max. Don't be fighting contenders and stuff. Just do some little exhibition fights, have some fun, because I'm bored to death of Max Holloway beating up all the contenders. My boy, Arnold Allen, why did he have to fight Max? He could have just beat up Emmett and got a title shot. That's what annoys me is, like, say Tapora, he gets Josh Emmett, Arnold Allen gets Max Holloway. Why is that fair? Arnold Allen should have got Emmett, and then we should have got the title shot. Well, I'm just being biased because Arnold Allen's one of my favorites, but it's the luck of the draw, I guess, isn't it?
Well, I think win, lose, or draw, you can't deny that the Zombie has created a legacy that will last. He's got one of 3 twister submissions ever executed in the UFC. He's fought some big names. You remember his fight with Brian Ortega in 2020 as well. He always brung it. And there's a certain, maybe this is just me digging a little too deep, there's a certain somber tone for his entrance as well that I'd miss. If this is his last fight, you've got the Cranberries playing Zombie, just him, getting Vaselined up. That he's always going to bring it. He's always going to go to war. Like you said, that fight that he had with Yair Rodriguez, I think he was actually winning that fight as well until the very, very last second. The Zombie, if this is his last stand, he's not just going to be the answer to a trivia question of who, Rodriguez knocked out with 1 second remaining in the fight. He's left a lasting legacy. But we're saying all this, maybe we'll hear more about it in the post-fight interviews after this weekend. But for now, I do believe that is all we've got time for. We'll be making sure to tune in to watch Max Holloway versus the Korean Zombie. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you can like, comment, and subscribe, it really does help us out.